Once again, it's another installment of the Higurashi visual novel Let's Play. I only got one feedback out of none that says use the studio microphone and also use a sock over it. Why? Because it makes for a decent pop filter when you can't get a hold of nylon stockings. Because those cash register people will give you a goddamn dirty look. As if you're better than they are. Ay, 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 ay. But anyways, I think we should continue. Anyways, I figure we could just view all of the tips that we have. So that way we can, actually take a good look at it. I didn't get to the other video because, So, we're mixed grade? Let's check out why we're all in a mixed grade. So, Rena, we're the same age? Technically, yeah. That's right. We're the same zodiac animal, too. It would be weird if we were the same age, but not the same zodiac animal. Not true. If your birthday isn't the same, you can have different animals even if you are the same age. Oh, I see, Mion. You're pretty smart. What month were you born, by the way, Keiji-kun? I'm July. She smirked and puffed with pride. So, what's the meaning with this? Well, she's not planning to be all high and mighty if her birthday was a wee bit sooner than mine, is she? Don't even. Impossible to challenge me by birthday. I wouldn't even mind you if you bet $1 a month. Why? Why? She panicked instead of being challenged to a wager. Given how panicked she is, I'm certain she doesn't have much allowance left this month. It's just sending her into a panic about something as simple as birthday. It's so fun, I just couldn't help myself. So that means you were born in April, Kei-chan? Right on, too bad. I'm already far older than Rena. Oh, I see. You're the same age as me-chan. Well, it's just a few months. That gap will open up again soon enough. She snickered through her nose. Hey now, that's not something you got all high and mighty about, as if I'm the only one to talk. Now that you mention it, you're higher grade. You're in higher grade, right, Mion? If you're into underclassmen, I could be an underclassman from now on. Mi-chan, you're not making any sense to me. Just seeing Rena's blushy face, you could tell she knew exactly what she meant by it. Setoko and Rika-chan are complete underclassmen. Their grade is different, so they should be in a different school, shouldn't they? But Keiji-kun, your tastes are a bit too young, I think. Well, you're not making any sense yourself, Rena. I'll just grab out to their head and scruffle a bit. Oh, stop it! I've wondered about it before. I was wondering why the school has different school years all mixed together. There aren't enough classrooms. It can't be helped. This building's being rented from the forestry service after all. When she says it like that, it would make sense. I've thought our school was strange for a while. The schoolyard's gravel. There are rooms that aren't for classes, and there's some strange sort of construction machinery parked there. Why is it being borrowed? What happened to the real school? There was one here forever from before the war. It got dilapidated. It closed it down. Probably was a grand old schoolhouse. And because of that, the students had to attend school in the city. And it's pretty far. Which school would that be? Did you know there's a school if you pass by the Okinomiya train station, turn out a hospital, head towards the pediatrics department? What? So far? I couldn't tell what that was by the location, but I understood it was pretty far from the reaction of Rena. Well, that's why. Guys that didn't want to commute to Hinamizawa rented out the building from the forestry service and are attending this pseudo schoolhouse. Half the children in Hinamizawa go here. There are quite a lot of kids that come on a bike. Well, since they attended this really messed up school, it might be pretty hard for them to get into higher education. It's not true, Mi-chan. If you study properly, you can go anywhere you want. That's right. I totally agree with Renan on this one. That's right. That's right. Let's try our best. All of you try your best. This old man will be rooting for you. Not just us. You too. You should be preparing for exams, shouldn't you? I mean, your future's bleak with grades like this. Fine, just fine. If I get stuck, I'll just mooch off Kei-chan as he works forever. What do you mean by work forever? What do you mean? Hey, you're too loud. Be quiet or it's self-study. The teacher yelled at all three of us. Completely our fault. She sounded and chortled hotly. I stuck out my tongue in her response. It's just as Beyond says, this school has nothing to do with higher education, but it makes up for that having lots of valuable things other schools just didn't. Fuck. The Maibara Manor. So, Kei-chan, you're not stinking rich? What is with that all of a sudden? Did I come to school in a limo before? How much did you get for a monthly allowance? $10? That's a rather plebeian amount. His lunch is made up of normal stuff. He isn't rich. What are they talking about? To be honest, out of nowhere, how much I get and then told that's a plebeian amount. Sorry. Rena seemed to be pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling. Kei-chan, yeah, as you know, it's pretty big, don't you think? The architecture has people all around Hinamizawa calling it the Maibara Manors. This sort of stands out. The Maibara Manor? Since the house is so big, everyone's gossiping, wondering how exactly rich you are. Well, I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. I see how it could be a big source of misunderstanding. From my deduction, I wagered to spend too much money on building the house, and that's why they're now broke. Being broke, how very, very unfortunate. Rika-chan took pity on me as she petted my head. I got from being treated like a millionaire to being a beggar. Sorry for ruining your imagination, but we aren't millionaires or poor people. We're the image of a normal average household. You can't call it normal with that huge house. The entrance is all grand, gates large enough for a large truck to get through. Not even normal at all. They do say the bigger the house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big is because Dad has studios in it too. There's a bunch of different workshops, and lots of his works are hung up at different places. All of them are huge. For those reasons, the family actually uses only a third of the house for day-to-day living. He planned it out so people and cars could come in to see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entrance Mion talked about? It's the studio. Normally that's sealed off. The entranceway that my Maibara family actually uses is a plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside. I really like a chance to exploit Kei-chan's house. Claiming not to be rich, but having a home like that, what could be hidden in there? Maybe there's something cute hidden in there. They probably have no money to purchase furniture, so it's filled with Spartan rooms. If there are carpeting rooms, I would love to try rolling around on the floor. That'll be great. I want to roll around too. Seems like their imaginations are just piling on. Well, something in the near future, it wouldn't be too bad to invite them all to my house. As a sucker for the ladies, he might even let them look around his studio. The cry of the cicadas crescendoed as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. And now for this newspaper. What was discovered near the dam site? Something about a murder and a dismemberment. From June blank, 1979 edition. I should just say redacted. The Shishibone City Okinomi Police Station. June redacted. Late at night. Suspects redacted. Redacted were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender, redacted, has been added to the wanted lists nationwide. According to our sources, the suspects were at the Hinamizawa dam construction site workroom on the blank, redacted, 9 p.m., where they are suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer, redacted, as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. On the redacted day, 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital, which a male suspect alluded to have murdered Mr. Redacted. When questioned at the police station, the individual confessed to a crime. Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, as there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies, the investigation is ongoing. So, we got those tips. Let's see how things go from here. Colonel Sanders? Yeah, previous video, we was asked to come after the picnic to help scout out a Colonel Sanders stall, or a stand, or a display from a chicken house that's probably a KFC ripoff. Of course, that's right up her alley. I understand her wanting to take home Sadako and Rika-chan, but I can't understand the Colonel Sanders. What's so good about that four-eyed geezer? Probably better to hear from Rena, don't you think? She'd probably just say because it's just so cute. Does she often go to the extraction site to hunt for treasure? Every now and then she says she's going to have a look. But a girl her age roaming around in garbage? Well, if Rena enjoys it, I think it's fine. What were they doing over there? Dam construction? Had to be bugging me since yesterday like an itch I couldn't scratch. Yep, canceled a long time ago. Everyone gathered together and fought against it. Hearing an ominous word like fought come to Rika-chan's mouth startled me. That's right, it was unbelievable. They said that Hinamizawa would be sunk in a reservoir and we had no say in the matter. So I'm only able to be here because a protest succeeded. I'm sorry. I didn't keep you, did I? My deepest apologies, Kei-san. Yaji-san, it took me a while to powder my nose. Sadako, wait to use the can until you really have to go. It's a lot easier since it shoots right out. Okay, I didn't need to know that. How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty such as myself? No further comment. Who is she calling a maiden? If Sadako really was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks ensured. Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of our society, I bring a point to discussion. He, Kaiichi Mayabara, wishes to be included as a member of our activities. What say you? Rena has no objection. Oh, I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task. Me and Santaka both approve. The three that Mion I queried voiced their approval. A unanimous decision. Congratulations, Keiichi Mayabara. I present you the honor of being allowed to take the entrance exam for our club. Start from the beginning. I didn't say I wouldn't join. What club is this? What a club does, you will see. In order to cope with a complicated society, we perform various activities under different set of rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. I'm pretty weak. I prefer you didn't single me out. Let's try to get along. You're so naive, Rena. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. Starting to sound a bit sketchy. What kind of club is this? To sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. She was the only one to answer that question with a pertinent response. So basically, this club put Leon's hobby of collecting games to use. By playing the various games she collected, or, well, hoarded every day, it seemed that depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished last. I'll make this clear right now. We aren't playing house here. You should treat each win or loss as if your life depends on it. Alright? Jesus, what's wrong with just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy. The first rule of the society is to aim for first place. Going at it half-assed just because it's a game isn't allowed. Number 2 of the society. For that reason, you're obligated to make all possible efforts. The way Sadako said it, it sounded like she was saying, use any means necessary. Of course, I will do my best too. I'm pretty weak, but I'll try my best. I know what they're trying to say. In a game where everybody's aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play with just for fun. Alright, I guess I'll go all out then. And with that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club. A word of warning, Kei-chan. Rena could get pretty nasty. The initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around the student lockers in the back of the room. They have games here at the school? Well, it's club equipment. I imagine it's fine. Complicated games would put Kei-chan at a disadvantage, so today we'll play a game that should be familiar with. And that would be a standard card game, like Old Bachelor! Alright, let's do this. Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty, so this time the loser will be sentenced to have their face drawn on. What do you think? Whoa, it won't be oil-based paint, right? Right? Oil-based face painting with oil-based paint? This is perfect. Sadako cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. It seems like she was ready to go. If this is going to be like this, then I can't lose either. I'll just cut the deck and start dealing. Old Bachelor was pretty much the same as Old Maid. There's only one difference, no Joker. In this place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. A pretty thrilling game. Alright, time to take out the card. She took one card and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at it intently. It'll be pretty obvious in the end game. No way to tell at the start. But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to one face down, all while gauging each other's reactions, as if they could see what the face down card was. It couldn't be. The deck is pretty worn out. No way. Can everyone tell by the scratches on the card what the card on the table is? Remember the second rule of our society. You must try your hardest to win. A number of cards are quite unique. Eiji-kun should be able to remember them pretty quickly. She said that so matter-of-factly. Suits me fine. I don't think a little thing like that can be your crush. I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. After all, they got so far as to memorize the wear and tear of each individual card. This wasn't a game of Old Bachelor. If this was a test, They were playing with the answer sheets right in front of them. Bring it! I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence would soon be crushed. How about I tell you your hand starting from your right? See, that's 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen. Fuck. The Bachelor is the Jack of Diamonds. Oh. I can tell what they are even if you switch them around. I am out. I thought I was prepared, but not this. This is brutal. Just overwhelming. Demons. You're all demons. Retta, you can't be a demon, are you? Sorry. This is the 3 of Hearts, isn't it? I'm out. Shit! Not even a hint of mercy. Even Rita-chan is a demon. These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumni of this club definitely survived the cruelest of this situation. If our entire class held self-dealt name collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a deathmatch on a desert island, these guys would probably take to it like fish to water. I can already picture the joy as they hunt down each of their own classmates. It's a lowest point system. The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest point total wins. Since Gage finished last, he has 5 points. It's already a 5 mark down on my scoreboard. I think it's unfair to Gage-kun if we don't use the new deck. It's fine. He's a man after all. You can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? It's fitting for a lowly peasant to scamper home and soak their pillows in tears, don't you think? A petite hand laid itself on top of my head, trembling from uncontainable frustration. It was Rika's. Keep on fighting, yay! Thanks to Rika's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I can muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi. Take your time and look at the cards. It's just as Rena said, each card has its own distinct markings that made them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory. Oh great, you're doing just like that. I covered the illegally marked cards with my hands, or the cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen. The one with the ripped corner should be a 5, and I'm out. I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Then it was my turn. Sadako fanned out her cards for me. I want 7. That one? I wondered about that. You won't know unless you take it. There was a bit of dismay in her expression. Like she doesn't want it to be taken, that kind of expression. I'm not going to let that momentary laugh slip by me. I know it's this one. Got it. 7 of spades. A cheer rang out. What is this? 7 should be the hardest one of all to tell apart. It wasn't from memorizing the markings, the slight changes in their expressions as I selected the card were enough. Can't hide it from me, Kei-chan. This mark means it's the 2 of diamonds. What? She was startled by all her own misreading. Of course everyone else was too. Whoa, it's rare that Mi-chan gets a card wrong. No. Kei-chan, could it be? They told them apart by different marks. The mark was a nail scratch. I put a new one on it. He disguised it as the 2 of diamonds? What an impressive show of wit. Keiichi landed a clean hit. Clap, clap, clap. That's great, Keiichi-kun. That was an incredible match. Having defeated a forerunner beyond my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. but by total points it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish dead at last. I laughed heartily, selected and toned my points carefully to get on Mion's nerves. I'm gonna end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mion at the end. That should be the proverbial slap in the face for Mion, who is already on top. Already with an ensured victory. Even if Kei-chan gets first place this round, he'll still end up last overall. Don't you hate that? Oh yeah. Let's have a duel then. A one chance. If you win, we'll swap first and last. How about it? She fell for it. A chance to upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it. One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. She discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table, shuffled the resulting hand back in her bag. The card on my right, or the card on my left. If Kei-chan can guess which hand the Joker is in, he wins. When you turn around just now, you didn't pull out the Joker, did you? If you lose, I'll show the card in the other hand. That okay? The other 3 gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events. Alright, you got it. She grasps 1 card in each hand and thrusts them out to me. I need to inspect them closely. The card on the right had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was. Which one, I wonder? Cage, you can be careful. Of course, it's my chance for a big comeback. Looking closely on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't one I had seen before. That card is... I didn't let that bit from Sadako slip by me. She clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number that I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Sadako's reaction it had already appeared during the game. Since it had already appeared before, it meant that it definitely wasn't a Joker. Ooh, this is the one on the right? Will you choose that one? Will you? The left card definitely wasn't a Joker. If I trust the theory, then I should be able to declare the card to the right was it. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. But it was a bit too rash to decide based solely on Sadako's reaction. More carefully, I remember now, the left mark. No doubt about it, the 7 of clubs. Must be the 7 of clubs, I see. I've won. The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. It meant the card on the right was the Joker. But just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. I would expect no less from you. There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers in my sudden halt. Right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker. Huh? What could Cage-san possibly be saying? I mean, the left one's... Oh, what makes you so certain the right one isn't the Joker, Cage-chan? She let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be, but I know the one on the left is the 7 of clubs. Then does that leave the right one as the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right? Yeah, one of those is the Joker, right? Gage-kun has good intuition. Huh. Rika-chan, what do you mean by that? Basically, the 7 of clubs. I discarded that at matching it by Sadako's 7 of spades earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that slotted pile. So that means Mion pocketed one of the discarded cards, aligned it over the left card, and that means... I see, I get it. The left card's being disguised as the 7 of clubs. The first time since the start of the match, a shadow ran across Mion's expression. I didn't let it slip by. With a glance force, I declared it. The Joker is the left one. An intense moment. The 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone in there. Breaking the silence, the first one to speak was Mion. And she says, being the first president of this club, I've been witnessing to a variety of performances. Kei-chan, yours is the best. The best of the best of the best. Probably the greatest compliment she could ever give. She accepted her defeat. drop a card for both hands. My comeback victory. Riki-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory. Riki-chan is... Rena and Sadako gaped at us as if they have seen a ghost. What is Rena? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? It was fair and square. Rika, only pet someone on the head to console them. What's the meaning of... The woman let out a small shriek. Keiichi-kun, this is how it was? You know, Kei-chan, I thought you'd read into it that far. Everyone froze. It was just me. It was a gamble. If you just jumped into conclusions like a low brat, I would have lost. It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand. You know, you should take pride in this loss. She turned it around. The card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 clubs was unbelievable. It was the 2 of diamonds. A setup behind a setup. I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it. So I, Mion Zanasaki, as the club president, do accept Keiichi Mayabara's membership into the club. As I sunk to my knees, dazed, everyone allowed a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite the defeat. The match is over. Today's victor is me, and our resultant loser is Keiichi. Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it was unexpectedly, it felt refreshing. Amichan pulled that little trick behind her back. I got a second thinking that she's gonna do it again. When Keiichi stopped the moment before touching the credit card, I thought he fell for it. He fell for it quite handily. Wait a minute. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly. Everyone got excited to make it more fun. You old demons! Monsters! Now then, Kei-chan, it's time for your penalty. Since it's your first day participating, I'll go easy on you. It'll be a problem if you refuse to come to school. The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. A felt-tip marker, large and oil-based. Here we go. She took that cap off the marker, brought herself to my face while I was immobilized. I screamed no with terror. I let out my death throes. And I got marked on. Lemore. As soon as the club activities were finished, Rena flew off. I need to do something first. Okay, I'm back. I had to deal with a few things. Probably so she can dig out that cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today was just Mion and me walking home together, which was a rather rare occurrence. A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams Rena would be grateful to them. How about the treasure meeting the damn construction site from before? Yeah, Mion will probably tell me. The murder, the dismemberment that seemed to have happened there. Over there, you know, at the damn construction site, did something happen there long ago? Something sure did. A grand battle. Sit-ins and demonstrations. A bit different than what I wanted to hear, but I decided to listen. It's just the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk to the damn reservoir. I would have fought as well, probably. The government guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. Nasty guys. She spoke excitedly as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. How many you guys want? I mean, you are facing the federal government, right? The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislatures, and as a result, the development plans was retracted. Our complete victory. There wasn't any violence there, was there? Like assaults or murders? I don't think so. She probably cut me off. Same Rena had. Words signaled the end of discussion. Tomitaki said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by misrememberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly. Later, I'll see you tomorrow, Keiji-chan. You can't wash that off until you get home, got it? I got it. She held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. And you, Leon, you will woo today. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm gonna slob it on. All over your face. So you won't be able to take it off with even a scouring pad. And upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I come home to was already on edge. Not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. Stomps around the house with his arm crossed. Mom whispered in my ear, "Welcome home, Keiichi. He's in a bit of a rut right now. Don't bother him. He can't come up with a new idea because the deadlines are close together this time. Hey, Dad needs time to recharge or he doesn't work well. His paintings feed our entire family. He runs out, that's the end of my Ibarra family. We never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering out of the house? The theme of this piece is in the household. Seems your dad wants to use this house as a motif. Quite a bothersome motif. Keiichi, pick up your room. It looks terrible. I'll clean it up later. Sorry. Oh, come on, please don't use my room as a motif. Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner, so please go take a walk out back or something. This bad mood's only temporarily. As soon as he gets the idea, his mood will improve and he'll start humming. Until then, it would be a bad idea to just go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further. I'll go then. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would be an hour by bike. It would be dark by the time I get back. I didn't want to go unless I had to. Roads at night were creeping me out. If Mion or Santako ever found out about that, I spotted Riley. Oh yeah. Rena was probably still on the mountain and treasure. The construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. She might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a bit of civil interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Tomitaki might be there as well. The only person with information about an incident that both Rena and Mion deny knowing anything about. If I meet him again, I'd like to ask more details. To ask was there ever a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa. For real. That's my real intention anyway. I spotted Rena struggling on the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was watching him there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing Tomitaki wasn't around, I began to climbing up the slope unsteadily. Rena, it looks like you're working up a sweat. Whoa, Keiichi-kun. What brings you to a place like this? A place like this. I see. She was aware of it, at least. I received a signal from our purchasing assistant at the Exodus site. Where is the injured party? Oh, accident? Huh? But there was a report Colonel Sanders was buried alive in a trash pile. Oh, you scared me. Don't frighten me like that. I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. You came for me? Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Rena blush at least once a day, I'm not getting my daily requirement nutritional intake. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. What part was the joke? I just ignored her bewilderment. Alright, how about you move out of the way? So, where's Colonel? Sorry. Casey, he's in that gap. Really buried in there. Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and construction materials, like they were caging him inside. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. Seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and he's buried like this. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? No way should we be able to do that with hers. But Colonel Sanders, so cute. There's a chain under Colonel Sanders at the store. This one though, I should be able to take this one home. If Rena get above on this, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal one in front of the store. As Rena's guardian, I just couldn't allow her to sully her hands with crime. So, out of the way, I'll do it. Rena blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. More days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumper will occur. If it got buried any deeper, nothing could be done. Keiichi, I'll help too. Let me help. You just get in the way. How about you stay back? Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside, I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, more stuff. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Brenda, I felt frantic because of how little progress I had done. If I was going to do this seriously, I need an axe for salt or something. That's enough, Keiichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm just doing it for you, Rena. Don't worry about it. She sputtered around. She turned beet red. Whoops. I meant to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well, this is better. I guess I just need a break. Pretty tough. I sprawled on my back over the glassy slope. I'm so sorry, you're covered in sweat. She patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, she took off running. The cries of the cicadas gently cooled the air. As I was certain that Rena's gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I discovered earlier. There was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bounded up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. Yes, there it was. Bound in stacks and lots of reputable tabloids. Stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. Seems like they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. If it was just as Tomotaki-san said, undoubtedly they would be mentioning the murderer. These are troubled times. No end to these sickening incidents. There's large part of society drawn by these incidents as well. It had to be recorded somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here, next one, not here, next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had to happen here. I looked up every so often, checked to see if Rena had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Rena and Mion said they didn't even know, but if it happened without a doubt, as long as Tomotaki-san wasn't lying, then if both Rena and Mion, yeah, there it was. If it just said it, that I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither of them two wished to talk about. trying to uncover it all, after I tried to conceal it out of good intentions. It made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching, murder by dismemberment. The tune is unsettling. I can't listen to this. Ooh. Here it is. The featured article was in the back. Seems like there was a photograph and the color pages at the front. Pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Rena could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and harder to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at a Hinamizawa construction site, lynching and murder dismemberment. The victim was at the site foreman. He has assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as. It happened. It really did happen. Same details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was. The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces. Head, arms, legs, torso. I could understand just from the headline it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't lynching. Merciless killing to the letter. A brutal murder. Done by a group of people. With hatchets. Pickaxes. With an axe. Sorry. Did I startle you? Rena dropped the axe that she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice. You see, earlier, yeah, you said you wouldn't help if you had an axe, didn't you? So I brought one for you from the shed. She fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. Seemed to have been glaring at her pretty intensively. I'm sorry. I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. No, I'm sorry as well. I'm really sorry. Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out. It wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we could break the last beam without an axe. You brought it after all, so I'll have to borrow it tomorrow, alright? Okay. Why don't you look so glum? Tonight we'll be digging out the Sanders, right? You're right. I really wanted to take him home soon. We all knew it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the towel boy wrapped up in my jacket. I think we should extend this little thing. The Hinamizawa Dam Project Special Tabloid Report. Let's take a look at those. One man's trash. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin Number Redacted, Hinamizawa's electrical development master plan was announced. The vast scope of the project, the Hinamizawa Dam, will have a quadruply heavy impact on the village. The flooded area caused by the dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa, Takatsudo, Gyotsu, Matsumoto, and Higuchi. The submerged areas will include 291 houses, population 1,251, and an elementary school, a middle school, a post office, an agricultural cooperative, a forestry department lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and a fishery. All these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged to the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured blood and sweat into this fertile resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes there were to be submerged, banded together, and created the Yonikafuchi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted, and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company, Blank, openly refused. Performing unspeakable heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded even more closely in steeled resolve to protect their homes until the death. The continuation of the fighting Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity, and that they understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Yonikafuchi Defense Alliance has been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered had not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they will be able to confront whatever next decides to stink their homes in the lake basin. Yonikafuchi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman Kichiro Kimiyoshi. The tabloid. Nightmare befalls Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder. Dismemberment. In the redacted month of redacted day and the redacted prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site in Shishibone City, bone-chilling gruesome murder dismemberment. Even though the case has struck the archipelago, the police will give no details to the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam. They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return and quickly escalated into homicide. So said the aforementioned investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. Redacted-san had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, Redacted 2, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctant at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He ended up splitting out the body among them, making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. Redacted had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. This had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound was what it meant. Thus, an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed a gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but he threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up on his objections. But the Redacted's plan collapsed in the span of one night. Redacted 3, who refused to dissect the corpse, came up until the last moment, had broken down to tears at the hospital. He was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. Criminals were arrested one day after another, but the de facto leader whereabouts are still unknown. The right arm hidden by the de facto leader has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that he said he was going to throw the body into the marsh. The car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. He didn't trust his companions. When one cannot deny the possibility that he had experienced, his companions confessed to the police and used this car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory, since he had no car, no one would expect him to have a limited area to which he could escape to. But within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in a marsh when he went to throw away the body. To the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onikafuji, the ogre's abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from hell that was Redacted. Also. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? The Zinjian Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune, prosperous future, ladies leaving into your arms, business success, promotions, ambition, protection from harm, not just within pachinko and horse races, but this business you would love, guaranteed or your money back. Zen Dragon bracket, One Piece. Okay, that kind of ended in a little hilarious thing. I'm gonna take a break from this. I'm starting to get a little sleepy. This recording's been happening at about noon to about 1 o'clock, so I'm just gonna get myself a little drink, and save this, and probably resume with another recording. And it'll go straight on to this.